are back for the next episode of the Farthest Thunder. Just a couple of quick notes before we go too far in. South will not be joining us, at least for the first part of tonight, due to work commitments. Hopefully he'll be able to join us a little further into the story. And Ezra is having internet issues of some kind. Hopefully he'll be able to get that sorted out.
Is his Android just twerking out and just...
Pretty much. So let's just do a quick recap from last session. You managed to reclaim the long data disk from the vault within the council chambers and took it to the Hollow, subterranean speakeasy kind of shady place. No one really hangs out there unless they have some shady business to do. And they met the proprietor of the Hollow, Mad Megs. Despite its disreputable reputation, it would seem that a number of citizens of Baxter's Reach took refuge here, and Mad Megs was kind enough to take them in, including Dr. Volkov, who was tending to the sick and wounded from the various attacks that have been plaguing Baxter's Reach for the last couple of days. It would seem in all this chaos, the cooperative soldiers who have had their general effectively assassinated while in Baxter's Reach by Ezra, thrown into chaos. They're missing their general, they're missing their captain, they're leaderless. So they're recalled and they have left the surface of the planet, leaving the remaining simps in chaos too, because they too are now leaderless, as Ezra assassinated or executed Simon, their new leader, since the previous one was killed in the Beetle attack. So chaos and anarchy has descended upon Baxter's Reach, which has been devastated itself by a swarm of popping beetles. So those survivors that did manage to take shelter and find shelter from these attacks have found refuge within the Hollow under Mad Megs' protection. In all this chaos, Alex Turner, the geologist that was part of this delegation, I saw you, Gideon, seems to have gotten worse in terms of his illness and has become kind of freakishly strong and has begun to morph into something else, something strange, bizarre, and alien. While you were in the Hollow, Mad Meg sent out a scouting party to see what it was like outside and perhaps to see if it was safe to emerge. Of the three Mad Meg sent out, only Lucky Bastard, true to his name, survived, although he did lose an arm in the process. The other two were savagely killed by a creature that matched Alex's description, albeit quite loosely, as Alex seems to have transformed even more into something truly hideous. So after some moral debates between Mad Megs, Elena Brooks, the now new council and leader, and Dr. Volkov as to what your next course of action should be and how you could save the people of Baxter's Reach, Mad Megs did not take too kindly to Dr. Volkov's words and, summarily executed her, not quite trusting her, suspicious of her motives as to why she wanted to save Alex, why she was so interested in the long data disk. And given the fact that Ezra and Otmar knew that she had, or suspected very strongly, that she had sabotaged the SEV and caused it to crash on the planet's surface in the first place. So after that, you decided to get the hell out of Dodge with the long data disc, with a couple of Mad Meg's henchmen, Lockjaw and Half Pint. You escaped through the tunnels, hidden in Mad Meg's back office, and emerged in the grasslands outside of town and made your way to the crash site. When you arrived there, Otmar, you noticed that Jarvis's stall was empty and that there was signs of some black tarry liquid similar to what you saw back at the neuroplasm plant on the ground. As the rest of you got into the ship, Gideon, you were expecting to meet your sisters here. They were supposed to rendezvous here to get off this planet with you. Desperate and alarmed that they were not there, you scanned the horizon and the immediate vicinity for any sign as if to see if they were here. And at first you didn't. And as you were going up the ramp to enter the ship, you took one last look. And you spotted amongst the tall grasses what looked to be the arm of a stuffed animal. And you recognized it to be that of Sophie's, your youngest sibling who had died in the beetle attack. When you went down to retrieve it, you also noticed a number of footprints, which would match your sister's footprints in terms of size and number, along with a pair of adult footprints in the dirt, leading off and away from the ship. And that is where we left off last session. Otmar, when you realized that Gideon's sisters were not at the ship, you all volunteered to go back to Gideon's home to see if they were still there. And Lockjaw was voluntold to accompany you. So you were maybe about 100 feet off from the ship, making your way back towards Gideon's home. Gideon, you realize that your sisters were in fact here. I'll start with you. What would you like to do, Gideon, at this point?
Before I do anything, can I pick up the toy and kind of see where the tracks are going to? Then I'm going to turn and just shout and be like, "Hey, Otmar, their tracks going over this way. Come on, we got to go." And then just kind of try and wheel off as fast as I can to where they are.
All right. Yes, Gideon's still wheelchair bound due to your missing kidney. And remember, you can only wheel yourself with one arm, too, because one of your arms is broken. So, yeah, you're not getting too far.
Trying.
In this dirt, yeah.
Just going in circles.
And you don't have Aiko there to push you at the moment. So
my personal valet isn't here anymore.
So, Otmar, you hear Gideon.
And who is Otmar as a company?
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw, do you think I heard something? Hold on, come back with me. And so he
Yes.
would head back.
All right. He follows you back. And you find Gideon kind of trying to scramble around. Gideon, I guess, because you can't effectively move yourself in this wheelchair with one arm in the dirt, you effectively have to get out of your chair and start crawling towards this bear. So, Otmar, you see Gideon in the dirt crawling around and pick up a teddy bear.
Their tracks are going this way. Come on, we got to go.
Gideon, can you go ahead and give me a survival? Actually, make an observation check for him. It's observation.
Okie dokie. All
right. You are already stressed and in panic mode, so your panic level is increased by 1, and you start trembling. So, Otmar, you see that Gideon is in a little rough shape. So you can see him like visibly shaking as he tries to trick and maybe hyperventilating a little. But you do have 2 successes, so you can clearly see the direction that they were headed.
Is the direction they were going just kind of like out in the middle of nowhere or to a specific point?
Seems to be heading back towards a neuroplasm plant.
Okay. Gideon is just going to be like, okay, they're going to the neuroplasm plant. Okay, Let's go. Come on, we gotta go.
We're gonna run ahead and follow the tracks. We'll run for about 10 minutes, see what we can find, but we can't just run to the neuroplasm plant. You know how far that is. We're going now. Come on, Lockjaw. Let's go.
You don't have to go very far. In fact, Gideon, you might even see this with your extra success. You travel maybe another 50 feet, and there are clearly vehicle tracks. They all seem to get into the vehicle, and the vehicle drives away. There's no way you catch them on foot.
All right, so Otmar and Lockjaw would turn around, and get Gideon and head back to the ship. Are there any land vehicles around the ship?
Not in the immediate vicinity. There were some back in town.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we could just fly there.
All right. So while Gideon, Otmar, and Lockjaw are outside looking for tracks and trying to figure out where people are, I'm going to shift back to those who went inside Mad Mag's Ezra. Aiko, I want to come to you first. What is going through Aiko's mind at this point?
So the catatonic shock is starting to wear off. He'd been processing what's going on. There's kind of three things that are top of mind for Aiko right now. Number one, he's pretty pissed off that Benji was killed. He saw a lot of potential in that kid. He is terrified of Ezra and doesn't know if he can control him. And he knows that he is gonna have to come up with the cover story of a lifetime if he's gonna get a promotion after the mission went this bad. So he's trying to figure out how to turn this big L into a tiny W. Yeah, and he doesn't trust this Mad Megs person because Dr. Volkov was a tool in his tool belt and he just took it away. So Aiko does not trust Mad Megs. In fact, I would go so far as to say that would probably make him a rival to me, Aiko, because like Volkov was a chess piece. We had leverage, and he took away that tool. Particularly, we didn't understand who was controlling her, what they wanted. So yeah, Mad Megs is definitely is now. Can you have multiple rivals or just one?
I'll let you have multiple. Sure.
All right, so Ezra and Mad Megs.
All right. So while you're stewing on this, Ezra, what are you up to?
Head straight to the bridge. Start barking orders at the crew to get those struts in the takeoff landing gear back operational. Get the fabrication tools out of storage. Start working on the steel. And I will sit down at the nearest terminal and check on the status of daughter.
Right. So as you make your way up to the command center, you do pass by the storage closet where Carl stuffed the bomb. And you can kind of see one of the backpack straps kind of sticking out still. You also see Carl kind of walk up to you and say, Captain, may I have a moment?
Walk with me.
He falls into step behind you. Captain, as I mentioned on the radio before, we have done our best. We have pretty much everything else running. Daughter is still offline.
Damn it.
But we can still fly. We can still fly without her. The problem now is the struts. And we cannot fabricate them here. We need raw materials. We need to go into town to get some steel. I mean, we could attempt to fly without it, but it is very dangerous. If we don't have them, we can damage the hull. We would not be able to escape the atmosphere without seriously putting everyone on the ship at risk.
Will you know what you need when you see it?
Yeah, we just need some, maybe even I-beams will work. Anything like that would be fine.
Drop the dimensions. We'll send out a party.
Aye, aye. And he excuses himself, and we'll go back to the engineers to get all that information ready for you.
All right, I'll check on the rest of the systems, including exterior video cameras.
Whichever cameras were not damaged, I mean, you can see half the ship was kind of buried in the dirt here. Whichever ones were not damaged are all operational. Everything else seems fine. Power supplies come back online. Everything is fine except daughter and the landing struts.
All right.
Any damage there was to the hull has been repaired that they could. Yeah, that's all that's left.
I'll wait till everybody appears busy and preoccupied, and then go and snatch the backpack with the bomb in it from wherever Carl stashed it. And I assume my headquarters. I will go put it in my quarters and lock the door. Put the bomb in my quarters and lock the door.
Yeah, you do have a footlocker that you can keep it in.
All right.
While Ezra is wandering around, I'm going to try to flag him down.
All right.
What is it now, Aiko?
Well, with Volkov out of the picture, we're still in the dark as to what the hell she wanted. Now, when I tried to log in, she must have hacked my terminal or something because I couldn't access the information. Can you see if you can dig into daughter, if you can find some sort of back channel or some sort of encrypted log, something that she was communicating with whoever? I think it's important we find out who the hell was dealing with her and why.
Yeah, exactly. Daughter's down. It's not important what she wanted. It's who she was working for.
Keep me posted.
I'm on it.
While you two are wandering on the ship doing your thing, Mad Mags, what are you up to with Half Pint?
Well, I'm not sure that she's ever seen such a ship. No, well, maybe seen, but not been on one. So she's definitely wandering, exploring, and keeping Half Pint close.
All right.
She might, as much as she can, try to keep within eyesight of Ezra.
Okay. You start wandering around, and very close to the ramp where you got on is the galley, which is kind of like the heart of the ship. And inside you see a woman, Asian descent, just kind of sitting at a table. She just kind of looks up at you, doesn't seem particularly interested, and goes back to sipping a coffee.
She might walk in, sit down, pull up a chair right next to her and say something like, hey there, tell me, where can I get myself a cup of that?
He just pushes the cup towards you. It's not worth it.
I'll judge for myself. She'll take a sip. Conclude it's probably not worth it.
You probably have seen her before because you are a resident of Baxter's Reach, and the cooperative has been here before, and she's often led the missions here in the past. You probably know who she is.
Know who she is, or just have a familiarity, like, I recognize you, sort of thing.
You probably would know that she was the one in command of those missions.
Well, that changes things. She might say, know who I am?
Kind of shrugs. No. Should I?
And she'll kind of grin. She'll say, you drop down on our spinning top here and you disrupt everything. You do that quite a bit, you know. poor people of this colony have had enough. Of course, looks like it's all for nothing now. Half Pint, what do you think of her?
Half-Pint just spits on the floor. I don't like her, boss.
Well, I don't imagine you would. I don't imagine anyone on this rock would. You gotta watch your back, Captain.
I really don't give a fuck.
Put that on a t-shirt. Anyways, she'll stand up and she'll walk out of the room. But as she's walking out, she'll make a comment to Half Pint. So we gotta keep our eyes on that one. They're all out to get us. Always have been. I don't know if I can trust anyone on this ship or this planet anymore.
You want me to put a bullet in the back of her head, boss?
No, not yet. I don't want to shake anyone's nerves. You see that Ico fella? He looked like he was broken. Can't do that to too many other folks, can we?
You want me to put him out of his misery, boss?
No, relax, Half Pint. We don't know what this fight is just yet.
Why don't we just take the ship for ourselves?
You know how to fly a ship, Half Pint? Do I look like a pilot to you? I don't think so.
That's why you're the boss.
No.
You know
We
this.
stick to what we know. We stick to what we're good at. What we're good at is judging the odds. We'll keep up with that.
All right, boss. Whatever you say, boss.
And they'll continue to explore the ship.
All right. Well, you probably would have overheard the last bit of Aiko's and Ezra's conversation. Meet them in one of the quarters of this ship.
You look like you got a little more color in you, Aiko. You feeling better?
Hi, friend. Couldn't be happier to finally have a chance to chat. Seems we had a little miscommunication with the doctor. But I'm certain that you and I will get along just fine.
Yeah, if I understand it right, you're a bit of a businessman, aren't you? I can relate to that.
Well, as one entrepreneur to another. Stay out of my fucking business and stop killing people! I'll fucking rip your Oh. Sorry, friend. Things are a little crazy here. Yeah. The next time you're thinking of pulling a trigger, just ask me. There's a time and place for things to happen, and I'll be the judge of that. As long as we're clear on that, we're not going to have any more problems.
I'll try to remember that. Likewise, though, next time you bark, you better bite.
Look, I don't speak hillbilly, but just so you know, you and your lapdogs, they're under my direct command from now on.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. I've never been under anyone's direct command. And it certainly won't start now. If it suits me, we can work together.
All right. You hear a voice call down the hall. It's Carl again. Captain. It looks like your friends are digging around in the dirt outside the ship. Should we let them in?
Are they at the door?
Have you guys returned to the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Open the
you guys-
door.
All right. Do you go back to open the door yourself, or do you want Carl to?
Carl.
Carl kind of moves past you back to the ramp and opens the door.
All right. Otmar would push Gideon in. Lockjaw comes in, and they would close the door behind him.
You guys are all on board the ship now.
I'll walkie-talkie Carl and say, send Otmar to the bridge.
Captain, can you come again? I'm not quite sure I understood. You want the local to
I
go to the
heard
bridge.
him on my radio, and he heads to the bridge.
Oh, that's right. I gave Yeah, so I gave Otmar my radio. I had Carl's radio. So that message went to
Okay.
Otmar directly.
Be right there.
Carl says, he comes back to you, Ezra, and says, I should also report that I did see maybe, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 hours ago, some children, some young girls kind of gathered outside, but I did what you said, Captain. I just shut the whole ship down, went quiet, didn't let them in. We waited a little bit. I watched out for them again. I saw a Jeep pull up. I saw a man get out and get them into the Jeep. So I think they're safe. I followed your command to the letter. Captain, it's...
Retrieve their video, put it on screen, and I'll go. I assume Gideon is on their way up with Otmar.
Mhm.
So Carl is telling me that through the walkie-talkie, or
No, in person.
come back to the bridge. Yeah, pull the video up on screen, and I'll go find Gideon and an Otmar, and make sure that the video is played on a screen where they can see it.
Megs, Aiko, do you want to be there too? All right. So you guys are all kind of cramped around this little greenish kind of monitor in the bridge to play back this video feed of, you see Gideon's sisters just kind of milling around outside, kind of a little confused. I see one of them clutching Sophie's teddy bear. They kind of are hanging out there for a good 20 minutes, and until they just sit down and just kind of lean up against the ship. So one of them plays in the sand until you see coming in from off frame. You see them all kind of look off frame for a moment, and then you see a hooded figure come into the screen, kind of kneel a little to get to their height. You can see them talking. You cannot see the individual's face. And then they all kind of gather together, and he escorts them back to his Jeep.
Ezra will look at Otmar. Any idea who that was?
I didn't recognize him, but we saw the tracks lead to the vehicle tracks. They headed off to the plant, the facility.
I'll look at Carl. Do you have the plans drawn up for the steel that we need?
Aye, Captain. It's only really just we'd be fine with like four I-beams, and that's enough for us to cobble something together. And if we have that, shouldn't take us more than a few hours, a shift of work to get it all together.
Does Ezra remember seeing material like that at the plasma factory?
At the plasma factory, yes, definitely.
All right.
Also at Baxter's Reach, but because of the damage done at Baxter's Reach, it might take a little longer to find pieces of metal that are...
At Baxter's Reach? It'll take longer at Baxter's Reach, or it'll take longer at the plasma factory?
At Baxter's Reach.
All right.
Not including travel time.
Not including travel time.
And which is closer, Baxter's Reach, the town?
Baxter's Reach by far is closer, yeah.
How far is the plasma factory?
Earth time, almost a full day to get out there.
Yeah, and we don't have any land vehicles, right?
Negative.
Could go back into Baxter's Reach to look for one.
Otmar, we need steel for the struts to get the ship back up straight.
Okay.
Head into town, grab a vehicle, get some scrap, then head to the plasma factory.
The plasma factory. Why not back here? The ship.
I'll look at Gideon and go after your relatives.
Yes, I would like to.
All right. So what's the plan? So Otmar and Lockjaw are going to head back to Baxter's Reach and look for scrap metal and a vehicle. And then we're going to take the vehicle to the neuroplasm facility. Yeah?
Yeah. Mag's around?
Yep, and she might volunteer to join.
Yeah, you'll help negotiate town, and you can bring Half Pint with you. We'll need all
Should
the
be able to
muscle we
make
can
quick
get.
work with it. I've got
Maybe-
contacts in town too.
Get it in and out of town.
So who's going where? Can Gideon go back to. I mean, it would be faster to go back to town without Gideon,
Mm-hmm.
but Gideon's going to need to come. So how do we want to do that?
Is the ship on the route from town to the plasma factory? Would they have to
Yes, the ship is the ship. Yeah, it is on the ship is on the path between Baxter's Reach and the plant. So the plan would be to go to Baxter's Reach, find a vehicle, pick up the steel, come back to the ship, drop the steel off, and then you can continue on to the neuroplasm plant. And now it's debatable whether or not it would be faster just to fix the ship and fly the ship to the neuroplasm plant versus driving that distance.
Ezra will ask Carl, once we get the raw materials, how long will it take to get the ship upright?
A shift. That's about 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours.
And how long would it take by land vehicle to get to the plasma factory? A day?
8 to 12, depending on who's driving.
Yeah. Gonna get a whole lot of attention once this ship gets up in the air, though. Gideon, you stay here in case your relatives come back.
Okay. Hey, Otmar. Earlier you said something about a hooded figure. Is that the same guy on the tape with my little sisters?
Otmar presses the rewind button.
Yeah. I'm going to make you make an observation check here.
Right on.
Ezra presses the enhance button.
I'll give you an extra die for that.
Zoom and enhance.
All right. So
It looks
base
like
modifier 1. Is that what that means? Yeah.
Yep.
Grr.
Would you like to push?
He's trying real hard. He thinks it's really important.
Holy.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, keep in mind the
can't
description is hooded figure, right?
But does he see a hood? Is there a hood in the video?
You think it could be the same person, but you can't tell.
Very shabby.
It's pretty standard, like a hoodie almost, right? Anyone can wear a hoodie, so it could be the same person. You're guessing.
I want to get a hoodie that says anyone can wear a hoodie.
Yeah.
And I know the South would probably go into town, right? And who is Captain Lynn again?
She's the cooperative captain, right?
Yep.
We
She's
haven't
your hostage.
We haven't told her that we know that yet, though.
Yeah, she's got to stay.
And because South is not here, I'm going to say he's going to stay on the ship too.
He's going to stay too? All right.
Yeah, I don't want to get him killed.
Yeah, he'll need to. He can occupy Captain Lynn. It'll be his responsibility.
Question about the ship. Since Aiko is a VP, I'm wondering, does he have a private medical bay? He's debating if he does. He's debating maybe letting Gideon use it.
No, the ship isn't big enough for that. Because you are the head of the delegation, you have just as much clearance almost as Ezra to get into access any part of the ship. So.
But there's no like surgical bay things or anything like
there
that.
There is a med bay. There's a med bay on the ship where Dr. Volkov did fix up Gideon, operated on him, in fact. But that's it.
And how many days is it until Gideon is walkable again?
5. Yeah, 5 or 6 more days, Earth days. It's a long time. It's not going to be before the end of this arc.
It's gonna be a while.
And is there no additional medical checks we could do, like physiotherapy, to speed it up a day or anything?
Gideon is frankly
meditation. I'll be fine.
Gideon is lucky to be alive. I'm going to take your panic down to 0.
Oh, thank you.
You've had enough time to chill in here.
Ezra will give Gideon some busy work on the bridge. You can type. You can look at logs. You can watch a video. You can do surveillance.
Yeah.
I'll give him some busy work.
If Ezra, if you can get Aiko's going to go to Ezra and ask if you can get him logged in, he can do some digging while you guys are out.
Yeah. So I'll log him in, and he under a safe log on, not mine, but and then just set him up with some ship logs, video surveillance and just say search through this. Control V for Volkov. Control F. Control F and search for V for Volkov.
Okay. And I guess
Yeah,
Gideon-
actually, I'll show Gideon what I'm doing. Actually, I'll take her over to the computer. You can learn how to interface with a mother type computer.
It's daughter is still
Daughter,
offline.
daughter.
Remember, you can still
This
like
is the server logs or whatever.
yeah. So you can still access everything, like all the ship components or whatever. But daughter is the AI that helps you navigate, helps you make sure everything is operational. Kind of like Overwatch, make sure the ship is okay, and she's offline. All right. So with that plan in place, so it is Otmar, Lockjaw, Mad Megs, Half Pint. Aiko, you're going to?
Well, I was
Into
going
back-
to stay on. I was going to stay on the ship and look for logs and such
Okay.
on Dr. Volkov.
Ezra?
On board Gideon to the systems.
Yeah. South will check out. South will keep an eye on Captain Lin, and Ezra will just hunker down and put all his energy into fixing daughter.
Okay. So, Otmar, Lockjaw, Megs. And do you want Half Pint and Lockjaw to go with you, Megs?
Oh yeah.
Is there any armor on the ship?
Oh, that's smart.
Oh, you mean like personal armor?
Yeah, like personal armor, or hazmat suits or anything like that.
There are compression suits. So I think they give you an armor value of 1 or maybe 2. I'd have to check.
No security armor, no protective armor.
No. This is supposed to be a peaceful diplomatic mission.
Paul didn't bring any spears to a pork hunt. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, they have an armor rating of 2. So if you want to throw on some compression suits, that'll...
Otmar would. Is there a limited supply, or is there like a dozen in there?
There's enough for each member of the crew, so there would have been like about a dozen.
Okay. Otmar would definitely put one on.
All right, I'll throw that into your inventory.
Come
Well,
on,
so-
Margaret. You look great in silver.
Not sure that I approve of this. It's going to limit my mobility, don't you think? But if you think it'll keep me alive, I guess I'll do it.
Do you want Lockjaw?
Get yourself suited up.
All right.
Both of them, or just Lockjaw?
There's not one half pint size. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, he's not going to have... He's kind of just wearing leathers. So that gives him an armor rating of 1, but he can't fit into one of these suits.
All
All
right,
right.
he's slippery.
All right, so the party is split. I'm going to start with those of you going back into Baxter's Reach.
Make sure Otmar has the plans for the scrap that we need.
Yep, and radio check on the way out.
Yep. He's still got mine. I still got Carl's.
And recall that there are still a lot of people in the hollow expecting to be rescued.
Oh, wait. Before Otmar leaves, I'll pull him aside and say, "Want Aiko's toy?"
Aiko's toy. He like looks at him funny.
Bomb he had Carl make.
Think it's good for anything?
I don't know. On your way out of town, if you need a distraction, set it off. Goes boom. You hightail it out of there.
Think it's stable?
If I know Carl, he did a good job.
All right, well, is there a timer built in? And he takes it, but tries to learn about how it works.
Yeah. Am I able to decipher Carl's engineering, or do I got to call him over and ask him how to operate the thing?
I'll let you make a CommTech check. Yeah, you can figure it out. In fact,
right.
You can make a small improvement. That extra
All
success.
right.
Or you can share it with Otmar, right? Like that's just.
Well, yeah, I know that. That's yeah. So figure it out, and I'll use the extra success just to make sure that I clearly explain it to Otmar, and I'll give him the backpack that it's in, and
My regards to Carl. This is a nice piece of work.
Yep. I think if you need it, it'll come in handy. Good luck.
Thank you kindly. We'll see you soon. Or not. Who knows?
So the four of you head back into town and start looking for both a vehicle and steel, according to the measurements provided to you by Carl. I will allow the person with the highest observation to make a check with a +1 modifier to see and find what you're looking for.
That could be Mags.
Yeah, my guess is that's Mags.
Otmar's
So
a
+1.
1.
Yeah, Mags is a 3 plus 3 wits.
Okay.
And add another modifier.
All right. So you start wandering into town. It is eerily quiet. There's absolutely nobody around, which is odd because there were still a number of simps presumably running around, but you don't see any sign of them. What part of town would you say you are searching? You want to stay in the more residential areas or the more central area where near the hollow, or?
Mags would probably want to stay clear of the hollow right now.
Let's stop by Benji's place first.
Benji, you say, the young boy, is he... Oh, you think he's there? We're gonna pick him up? Rescue him? Didn't take you... Well, I suppose that is in your character, isn't it?
That's exactly what we're going to do, Max.
So you go back to Benji's container home, and it is remarkably in decent shape. There might actually be even some salvageable metal from it.
Yeah. Otmar's looking everywhere for metal, but he thought Benji, he was a good hoarder. He would know what to hold on to.
Okay. Yeah, you do find some metal there. And now I'm going to ask you, with that extra success, you have a number of options. You can reduce the time it takes you to find things, one thing. It can reduce the time it takes you to recover one thing, or you can use it to find both things, but it'll take you a shift basically to find both things.
Yeah, so we'll use it to reduce the time it takes to recover something, we'll say.
Okay. So you guys find a number of I-beams that would likely fit Carl's specifications. Benji's home is in the residential part of Baxter's Reach, though.
Is this body... Are we in the house? Sorry.
Yeah, you would have gone in. You would have seen his body laid out on the bed.
Ooh.
Otmar would look down and sort of fall to his knees for a little bit of time.
Was it quick? Do you know?
I was outside. I didn't see it. I think that's true. I don't think he saw it, but he would be authentic. And they would look for some metal there. And would they be able to carry these items?
No, you would need a vehicle.
Need a vehicle to move them. Okay.
Yeah.
So to Mags, I think Otmar would say, so need to bring all this back to the ship, including Benji, just like you said. We're gonna bring him with us. But we need a vehicle to do that. You got any steeds stashed away some hangar?
As you guys are talking in here, before you have a chance to respond, Megs, you hear the cocking of a gun. And you see stepping out of the closet a young woman, Andrea. So what the fuck are you doing here? Get out.
Hello, Andrea.
Get the fuck out of my home.
We was just leaving. Come on. So they would leave.
Yeah, Mags will...
Have they met before?
They probably would have.
Yeah, I would say Simon actually had spent some time in the hollow along with Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
Should, on the way out, just give her sort of a respectful nod. She might say, she'd say, sorry for your loss. It ain't right, but it's probably for the best. That it was quick, I mean. That it was swift.
She lowers her rifle and looks at you and says, "The hell are you two doing snooping around here anyway?"
We're going to get off this rock. And we knew Benji's last wishes were to get off this rock. And we need some scrap to get off this rock. And we need a vehicle. You wouldn't happen to know where we might find a vehicle, would you, Andrea?
I might. Megs, where would Lockjaw and Half Pint be? Would you keep them outside, or would they come in? Would they come in with you?
I think they would have been at the door, but as Andrea came out, she would have dismissed them. She put her hands up, and sort of gestured for them to leave.
Right. So they step outside. Andrew looks at Benji's corpse and says, something Benji would have really liked. Do you think there's room for him?
We're going to have to find a way. There's going to be some hard choices, and I don't think we're all going to make it. You can come with us, too.
With Benji?
Yeah. Both of you.
She slings the rifle over her shoulder and starts gathering supplies, foodstuffs, and whatever she can find, canned foods. So, all right, then. Yeah, I think I saw a Jeep, actually not too far from the hollow, Megs. I think the simps were using it, but be careful. There's something out there.
Yeah. We heard it banging a while back. You gonna sit tight right here, yeah?
Yeah. I'll just gather some things and you promise you'll be back for us, right, Otmar?
I can't promise I'll live to see tomorrow, but I'm gonna try.
All I can ask for.
So they would
I'll
head
wait.
to the suggested location, looking for a Jeep.
All right. And you're going to take Lockjaw and Half Pint with you?
No, I think Mags is saying, Half-Pint, watch over. She needs all the luck she can get.
Boss, you left Lucky Bastard back at the hollow, though. You want me to go get him?
I think they need Lucky Bastard more than we do. At this time. So, no, not right now. There's time still.
All right, boss. You know, I'd feel better with Lucky Bastard around, though. He's like a fucking little good luck charm.
When we all. In due time.
Stay safe, boss.
So as they're walking out, Mags would say something like, well, Otmar, you didn't tell me any of that, Mr. Ettinger. That family.
Yeah,
rough.
I still can't talk about it. But I'm glad you could see it so that maybe someday we will be able to talk about it. I think they call it processing.
Now you keep working that.
Gonna
We've got a
take me a
job to do.
while. We got a job to do in the meantime and a whole lot of other shit to worry about. Let's go get that vehicle.
Ahmad, Megs, Otmar, and Lockjaw start to, cautiously walking the streets of Baxter's Reach, with Half Pint closing the door behind you. So he and Andrea are inside this room with Benji. Now you notice that the smell in this room is a little ripe, with the remains of Benji starting to not smell so good, but she hasn't had the heart to move him yet. I'm going to quickly go back to the ship, where the rest of you are just kind of hunkering down. Gideon, you're trying to learn the ins and outs of a computer system that you have never seen before.
he's very frustrated both with that and also with everything that's going on, but at the same time he's really happy to have something to do because he's also very much trying not to panic. So he's just sitting there like, God damn stupid fucking piece of fucking computer, what the fuck is this?
And Aiko, you're trying to help Gideon out and teaching him what you know.
Calm down, backer. I mean, Gideon. To be fair, though, Aiko is he's half technical, so some of the stuff he's telling him to do is legitimately wrong. So Aiko's equally getting frustrated. So we're both kind of muddling with it a bit.
Yeah. Because Gideon is at the keyboard, Aiko, you're just kind of looking over his shoulder, kind of guiding him. I'm going to have Gideon roll a contact check with a +1 modifier because of Aiko's help.
Is he doing the whole raptor claw typing? Because one arm is out of commission, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
One hand finger hunting, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure he probably hasn't had a lot of experience with computers, so he's just like pretending to try and know more than he really does.
Oh my god, that's a lot of
Nice.
dice, though.
Okay.
You're a natural. So tell me, Gideon, what are you looking for?
I think Gideon's trying to look for ties to Volkov because he didn't really know all that was going on before she died, and so he kind of trusted her. So he's kind of trying to see if maybe someone was using her credentials to do all the stuff with the ship, and see if there was maybe a link to that, and see if maybe there's also stuff with the Weyland-Yutani presence in the past. Maybe there's like something deep in the files about the Weyland-Yutani presence on the colony.
Yeah. You pull up her file quite quickly and surprising Aiko in the process at the speed in which you find her file. She was
it worked.
a high-level representative of the UPP, United People's Party or Progressive People or something like that. But they are in direct conflict now with the UA, the United Americas. She was a very decorated doctor and technician. She won several prizes, highly acclaimed and lots of research paper, very intelligent, and known for her humanitarian work. Her specialties were in bioengineering and the study of xenobiology.
Okay.
So Aiko's going to lean in and be like, hey, not bad. Well, let me show you something real wizardry. And so Aiko kind of learned this particular hack is because he has to write so many citations. He had his engineers build in like a little back door to searching for a particular file. So he tells Gideon that if they take her name and her ID and they run it through this basic hashing algorithm that he's got. There's this command that hashes the two together. It spits out this like very unique identifier, and you can actually search the metadata for this unique identifier, and any files, even hidden ones that have this metadata associated with it, will pop up in this search.
Aiko, go ahead and make a contact check for me, please. All right. So as you... the first time you explain this to Gideon, and you're so sure of yourself, you hit enter and nothing comes up.
Wait, what something happened?
God damn it! I should have started smashing the keyboard.
Jesus Christ, dude, calm down.
It's like, oh wait, I forgot that because it's I forgot to use the sudo command. Such an idiot.
What's a sudo command?
Kids.
Okay. So with the 2 successes, in addition to Gideon's ability to pull up Dr. Volkov's file and your secret hack, you do manage to find, it's not necessarily a secret file, but it is kind of well tucked away someplace, not meant to be found, that she had directives from the UPP to make contact with fragments and communities within the far Spinward colonies and reestablish that political connection with the UPP factions here. There also seems to be indications that there were communications soon as you came out of cryo between Dr. Volkov and somebody on Baxter's Reach.
Do I have comms to Ezra?
You can use ship's comms if you want.
I think I mean the computer terminal you guys are at, I imagine, is at the bridge, and I'm on the bridge right next to you.
Oh, I thought you went to steal.
I stuck behind, and I'm working on fixing daughter.
I'm gonna page Ezra. Ezra, get the fuck in here right now!
God.
Dude, chill out, man. You don't have to yell, dude.
He's also yelling like right by Gideon's ear. He's just like leaning in, yelling.
Basically, Ezra just like
Yeah.
pulls his chair around and says,
Oh,
do you
yeah,
want?
You're like right. Like,
He's like right there, man. Why are
Yeah.
you yelling?
"What is it this time, Pete?"
gonna like point to the logs there.
I'll get up from my chair and look over his shoulder.
I could be wrong, but it looks like Volkov was talking to someone here when she got out of cryo.
Ezra will nod. Good job. Keep digging.
Who's that engineer that built that pipe bomb thingy?
There's a bomb?
Shh.
You want to talk to the engineers, you can go through me.
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
What do you want to know?
Well, I don't know if this thing has direct access for comms. I'll take a look. But do you think you could get one of your engineers to tap into our comms and see if there was some sort of back channel recording or something? I don't know if I can get it from here.
I'll call Carl over and tell him what Echo just said. Analyze the
Okay.
comms between here and Baxter's Reach right after we came out of cryo.
Right. This is not his specialty. So if one of you guys have better comm tech check, one of you guys might want to roll this.
I could give it a shot.
Sure. You look like you're doing pretty good.
Getting you there.
Let's role play it. Like let's. So he calls Carl over. He's like, "Yup," and now you're in the chair.
Carl flubs it.
What am I doing here, Captain? I build ships, Captain. I don't know anything about computers.
This is your chance to impress the heck out of Aiko if you can pull this off.
Gideon's just like, wait, you were saying, weren't you supposed to like press this button here and then do that?
Hey.
I'm a genius.
All right. So you pull up the comm logs.
Get the fuck out of here, Carl.
Sorry, Carl.
Carl kind of looks down and sees the backpack. Oh no, you put that in your quarters, didn't you, Ezra? You stowed that.
First thing I did was get it out of where Carl had stashed it, and then I
Okay.
gave it to Otmar. So if
All
he
right,
notices it's missing, it's not where he had put it.
Yeah. So Carl just leaves. He goes back to work. Getting with that extra success, you find that particular comm entry where Dr. Volkov made contact with Baxter's Reach. It was the morning, just hours before you landed. It is encrypted, though. You'll need to make another comm tech check to decrypt
Aiko is
it.
gonna be like, "Good job, kid." He's just gonna shove her out of the way and just like start hacking.
Jesus Christ, dude. Can you stop being such a dick?
All right. So between the two of you, it's going to take a little bit of time. the better part of a shift, in fact, for you guys to hack this encryption. It's probably about the same amount of time that it took for Otmar and Megs to go into town, have that interaction with Andrea, and make their way towards close to the hollow anyway, to pick up the Jeep. You discover... do I want to tell you this before or after? After.
You want to do a break with a cliffhanger?
Yeah, let's do a quick break if you guys want, and we'll come back, and we'll resume back with Megs and Otmar.
Terrific.
Sounds good.
So we are back to Megs and Otmar, who are combing the streets for this vehicle with Lockjaw. Megs, can I get you to make an observation check for me, please? Push.
Yeah, let's do this. Oh, wow.
All right. So you're walking through these deserted streets, and there's no sign of any vehicles. And again, the streets are eerily quiet. You can kind of see the smoldering ruins and half-melted plastic and steel structures around you. And because you failed on your observation roll, you do not see what happens next. Can you tell me how you guys are combing the streets? Like, are you just traveling single file? Are you...
Otmar is, walking around. He'll go up to people he knows.
Oh, there's no one there? No one around?
Oh, there's no one there? Yeah, so he's keeping his head down, but he's looking around. Not seeing anything. Moving slowly.
Mags would have sent Lockjaw up, maybe 20 paces ahead, and I can picture like them doing hand signals.
Or Lockjaw. As Lockjaw is traveling about 20 yards ahead of you, you can just see the strange bluish, strangely long arm just kind of reach out from behind a corner, grab Lockjaw, and basically just throw him against the side of a nearby building. And I'm going to roll some armor for Lockjaw since he's wearing some. Does not reduce the damage. And Lockjaw is thrown a little bruised up and lands prone on the ground. I'm going to have you guys all roll. Draw cards for encounter now. All right, so Lockjaw is going to get up and fire on this thing. So I'm just going to put him... he was walking a little bit ahead of you, and he's with this thing. He's going to fire on whatever this thing is. Damage is reduced to 0. All right. That is Lockjaw's turn as he just opens fire on whatever this thing is. Otmar, you're up.
Does Otmar recognize this beast?
There are no. And basically no, but there are things that remind you. You can put 2 and 2 together. He's wearing still some strands of khaki clothing, kind of the same size, even though he's kind of grown in like muscle mass and length of his arms, and his head is kind of elongated now. It's Alex.
So he's gonna charge up his zapper.
Go ahead and make that power check for me, please. Oh boy, you lose 3 power on that charge up.
Oof. Not great.
And then roll it again as you discharge it. Okay, you're good. No more power gets drained. Now go ahead and make that zapper roll. Actually, before you do that, you have to make a survival check, to see if you hit.
Oops.
So we'll keep that roll if you hit, but you do need to make that survival. Nice. Okay. So you got 3 successes. With a stunning shock, you do 10 base damage. You got 1 success on your stunning shock.
Okay.
Okay, so you do 1 point of damage, of which you have 2 extra successes, so you can bump that damage up if you like.
Yes. Unless there's another way we can disadvantage him by pushing him back.
Yes, you can push him if you like. push him back
so
to
push him
one
the
more.
west, to the northwest.
So he is now far from
Yeah,
you.
the west. There we go. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he takes 1 point of damage. You still have 1 extra success. Do you want to apply that to damage? Make it 2 points, or okay?
Yeah.
Armor does not help, so he takes 2 points of damage, and they have to make a stamina check. So on top of that, they're stunned and cannot act until they make a successful stamina test. Wow,
The
so
old
you
unlock.
nicely done. So this guy will go. It's now his first turn. He'll make another stamina check.
Wow.
There, no successes, so he's still stunned. Cannot move. Megs, you're up.
Wow. So it's a fast action to find cover, right?
Yep.
So Mags is going to look for a place to duck down behind, and as she gets comfortable, if she does find a place, she's going to take a shot.
Okay.
With spade.
All right, so you got 1 success. You do 2 points of damage on that hit. As you fire your shot, you make an armor check for this guy. No successes. So he takes 2 more points of damage. Poor Alex. He's rolling like shit. Okay. Anything else for Megs? I guess you did your fast and low. So Alex will try to make another stamina check. See if he can break out of his stun. Yes, finally does so. But I'll say it's at the end of his turn. So he's next round he can act. Brings us to the top of the round again. Lockjaw is just going to open up on him again. Nope. Otmar, you're up.
Otmar feels like he's stunned it, and he's not sure if he can get 2 more zaps out of his zapper. So he's gonna drop it, and it's in long range. Can he move to it and also attack it with a cutting torch in the same turn, or no?
No.
Okay, so he'll keep it, and he'll try to zap it 1 more time from medium range, and he'll roll the dice with power. So I'm going to click on the power thing once.
You're good.
And a second time.
You're good. Go ahead and make your survival check.
Yes. Stamina check?
Is there a stamina? Sorry, stamina.
I think it's just stamina.
It's stamina. It's stamina. You're absolutely right. It's stamina.
That one feels a little bit better. Okay. All right.
Oh my gosh. So they're knocked back another thing, and they take
none.
All right. So it does a base
damage 1.
Damage 1. So I do 1 point of damage. You have an extra success, so you can do 2 points if you like.
Yeah, he will.
And he's pushed back to long range from you again. All right. Alex is not having a good day as he's kind of being knocked around by this zapper. It is now his turn. He's now long range from you, Otmar. He's also long range from Lockjaw. So all he can do, he does not like you, Otmar, because you are zapping him to death. He's just going to spend his fast and slow action to run right up into your face. And that is his turn. Megs, you're up.
Great. Mags is going to take aim with her fasts and fire. Taking aim will add 2. Is that right?
2.
Or is it
It's
1?
2.
Oh, I got to roll 2 extra.
All right. So you got 2 successes there. Do you want to do like 3 damage?
Yeah.
She's all right.
Focusing on the damage.
All right. I'll roll for his armor. Reduces it by 2. He still takes 1 point of damage. All right. So it is now its turn. It will attack you, Otmar. It grabs you, Otmar, and just kind of throws you into a wall. It will do, it looks like it did 3 points of damage. Go ahead and make an armor check for me, please.
All right.
Doesn't reduce, so you take the full 3 damage.
He's going to use his resilient talent to roll strength to reduce damage.
Okay.
All right.
You reduce it by 1.
Okay, so he takes 2 damage.
And I need you to make so you did take damage, so you are now short range from him as he just kind of tosses you a little bit distance away from him, and you're prone.
Okay.
You drop your zapper, and I need you to make a panic check. A little bit of a nervous twitch, but you're okay. And that is its turn. That brings us back to Lockjaw, who's just going to open up on it again. So he takes another point of damage. All right, so Alex is looking pretty rough now. He's riddled with bullets. You can see a char marks on his chest where you zapped him. He is struggling, but still alive. Otmar, you are up.
He's got a cutting torch, and he thinks, cut this thing wide open.
Okay, so there's two things.
You've got to make a power check on that, though, yeah?
But before you're able to do that, remember you're prone.
Got to get up, yeah.
So that's going to be your fast action to get up. Pulling out your cutting torch is going to be your slow action.
Okay, so he can't move.
Getting up from prone is you can't unless you want to crawl from prone.
If he gets up, can he move after getting up, or does he?
Yes, if he gets up after he moves, then you're not able to pull out your cutting torch, though.
Okay. So he will he'll get up. He sees his zapper on the ground. He's concerned. He moves back to long range.
You can only move to medium when
range.
Yeah.
There we go.
And your zapper is still on the ground here.
Yep.
All right. It's now its turn. I'm going to roll a d6. Evens, it's going to go after Lockjaw. Odds, it'll go after you, Otmar. Odds, it's coming after you. So you can just see his face contorted with rage and just some strange, incredible anger and strength. You guys have already done 8 points of damage to Alex, and he's still moving. So he comes after you, and he throws you again for another point of damage. So go ahead and roll your dice.
Yes. Strength.
Armor?
No. Oh, sorry. I did that first. I'll do armor also.
Yep. Whoa. All right. So yeah, you negate the damage. So you take no damage and you land on your feet. But you are short range from him now. And Megs, that brings us to you.
Mag's going to aim and fire again. Just keep plucking away at it. And this time, let's see if I can do it proper. Add 2 to base modifier.
You got 1 extra success, but you are suffering a little bit from stress. I'll roll the armor. 2 successes. Damage is 2, so he still takes the 1 point of damage. Describe to me how Megs takes out Alex.
Oof. She's a great shot with that revolver. She's well known to be. She lines it up to this thing's dome, which is quite big, and connects really effectively in the head.
All right, headshot to Alex, and he finally collapses, kind of twitching every once in a while. But you...
Is there acid that Otmar can see from?
No acid.
Okay.
But this creature, what used to be Alex, clearly not human anymore, possessed extraordinary strength. I think it's just from a set of bad rolls that he didn't do more damage. You guys are lucky. But yeah. You want to do anything with his body, or?
I ain't going to touch that. Hell no. Let's get that vehicle and get back to Benji's place. Get Andrea.
Both of you are suffering from a little bit of panic, a little stressed, but I need you guys to make one more observation check for me. Megs, I guess that's you again. All right, so this isn't that big a deal. We're not in a combat situation. As you walk past the body of this thing. Can you describe to me what's going through Meg's mind? You just put this thing down.
Yeah, I mean, she's never seen such a thing. But she's just picturing what this thing did to her friends, and what it could have just done to the three of them. She's looking over at Lockjaw, and Otmar. You're not looking terribly healthy, I'm guessing, right?
It's just a scratch.
Yeah, she's really thinking that they've lucked out here.
You know the odds, Max. Come on. Call it a win.
Yeah, she tries to shake it off as much as she can. And actually, would that be considered breaking it? Because she does have a trait where she drops a level of stress if she breaks an opponent.
Yep. No, count that. All right. It says you drop your weapon here, but because we're not in combat, that doesn't really matter. But you do manage to see a vehicle parked roughly about a block away from the entrance to the hollow. I'm going to shift back to the people back on the ship again. And who was it? Was it Aiko that you managed to decrypt it? You hear the message come through. And you can hear Dr. Volkov's voice first thing. Hello, this is Dr. Volkov from the Great Mother Mission, representative of the UPP. Who am I speaking with? And you hear kind of a faint crackling on the other side as the person responds. Who's in this room? Gideon. You would recognize the voice. It is a woman's voice. He says, yes, this is Elena of Baxter's Reach. Who am I speaking with? And says, oh, this is Dr. Volkov. And Elena says, oh, I was expecting you. Yes, everything is arranged. We'll see you soon. And that's the end of the transmission.
Did the transmission just sound like, oh, Elena, as part of the council, was preparing for the ship to come and just be like, hey, we'll have a little entourage for you and stuff like that? Or was this more, did this sound kind of more sinister, I guess?
I'll let you make an observation check to see if you can make that distinction. Yeah, there was just something in the way she said it, the pause, the recognition that, yeah, there's something going on here.
Gideon's just gonna sit back and go, oh shit.
Yeah, she's talking to someone and we gotta find out who that is.
You seriously don't recognize her? That was Elena. Oh my god, that was Elena. Oh my god, that was Elena.
Is she on the ship?
I think she's back
No,
in the hollow.
She's back at the hollow.
With Lucky Bastard.
Do we have any vehicle transports to get there?
Got Gideon's wheels.
Ezra, Otmar's got to know about this. It's there nearby. Elena was talking to Volkov.
Tosses his comms device to Gideon. Let me concentrate. Goes back to his keyboard trying to crack daughter.
Ezra, can you make a CommTech check?
Yeah. My effort into some sort of malicious hack of daughter. I don't believe this is a effect or bug.
Oh.
Yikes.
Aiko is gonna come out and literally put his head right over his shoulder and just glare at the computer screen, angry.
Interrupt me. I'm concentrating.
I didn't say anything. He's just Aiko's gonna remind him to run sudo.
I guess while they're doing that, Gideon's gonna call Otmar and tell him.
All right. So I'm assuming you guys have comms. You took the comm unit, right? You still have that, Otmar? Yeah.
This is Otmar. Over.
Amar, holy shit. We found a message. Volkov was talking to Elena before coming down. Elena was in on it.
Repeat. Elena?
Yeah. Elena was in on it. Oh God. Okay, so Volkov and Elena were talking. They talked right after all the folks up here just got a cryo sleep. And Elena said she would get everything ready. And not in a, oh, normal, hey, we're just gonna get the tour ready kind of thing.
What do you want me to do about it?
Eiko's gonna grab the comm and say, Otmar, you have been officially deputized by Wayland Yutani to bring this bitch into the brig!
What? No, don't bring her back on the ship!
Shh, get your ducks in a row. We'll head to the hollow. Over.
Honestly, Gideon did not think this far, so he was like, okay, they know now, right? But, there's nothing else we can do, is there?
Just for the record, you only have one good hand, so you can have one.
Yeah, just like.
All right. So with that information, Otmar, Megs, you are literally a block away from the hollow. You have the Jeep. What would you like to do?
Am I to understand this correctly, Mr. Ettinger? That our councilwoman had some sort of knowledge of this happening?
She was in cahoots with the Outworlders coming in. How'd she know about that?
Well,
Inquiring minds want to know.
I think she may have run out of credit on this one.
So what do we do with her?
Well, we can bring her in, as they say, or we can cash in her chips. What do you think?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna channel good old Aiko and say, maybe there's something locked up in her noggin and we don't want to blow out the back of it.
Not a terrible idea. Plus, well, we get lucky bastard. He's really good at extracting that noggin knowledge. We could find a way, I'm sure.
Oh, can I watch?
My, Mr. Ettinger. Didn't take you for the type. Let's go.
We'll all go into the hollow. We'll get the beams later, or you want Lockjaw to start loading it up?
Well, I think that's a great idea, but I also am concerned about our friend over here. She points down at the blue thing. Something tells me we might want to burn this. I'm not comfortable just leaving it here. Look at this thing. Oozing and dripping.
I ain't the superstitious type, but I do like burning things. Let's do it.
All right. So you take the time to first burn.
He'd plug in his zapper into one of the charging ports, and then he would start burning this thing.
And you just kind of poke it until it fries and sizzles. Okay, that's
No.
very...
He's charging. He's charging the battery.
Okay.
And he's finding some kerosene or whatever, some heating fuel.
Okay.
To light up the
all right
beast.
While Otmar is doing that, Megs, are you just watching, or did you want to go ahead to the hollow?
Divide and conquer. I'll head in. She'll peel off, and Lockjaw will start working on loading up some steel.
He's going to actually have to drive the Jeep back to Benji's place to load up the steel. You want him to do that?
Maybe this is dividing the party a bit much. No, I think she wouldn't. In that case, no. It'd be more We'll have Lockjaw stick around and help Otmar.
Okay, we'll do that. He'll look for some kerosene while you're getting your zapper charged up. All right, so Megs, you approach the door to the hollow. You know the pass key. You know how to get in there. You open the door, and it is not what you expected. Inside, you see a bunch of your staff kind of crowded around a table. And you see a lot of the refugees kind of hiding at the far corner of the room. You do a quick scan, and there's no sign of Elena. As soon as you walk in, what was the name of Mercy? Was that her name? The bartender, the waitress?
Sure. I can't remember.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Miss Meggs, you're back. Are you, come quickly. And she kind of waves you over to the table that your staff are kind of huddled around. You see lying on, this was the same table that Lucky Bastard was kind of sprawled out on. You look down and you see Lucky Bastard there, still kind of drifting in and out of consciousness, but you see his right foot has a hole in it. It's almost been blown off. Mercy says, it was Elena. She just went nuts. She had well, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes after you left, she pulled a gun, shot Lucky Bastard, and said to let her go. And she and a bunch of other folks went out the same tunnel you went.
Low stakes trash. We've got to find a way through this. How is he going to make? So she's looking at Lucky Bastard. How you doing, Lucky Bastard?
Not dead yet, man.
Pull it together. I can't believe you let her get the best of you.
He's about to say something, but he kind of thinks better of it. Says, "You're right, Miss Meggs. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have been. I should have got to jump on her. I'm terribly sorry. I won't fail you again."
Double crossing the house. We need a search party. We've got to bring her in. So she's gonna look around at whatever is left of her staff, if there's much.
Most of your big enforcers are spoken for. They were either killed in that scouting party. You got Lucky Bastard on the table, Lockjaw's out there, and Half Pint. Those are your big guns. What you have left are more like wait staff and whatever. So,
all right, sit tight here. We'll even the odds, I promise you. And I think she'll head out, or start to head out.
You go back to the street, or do you want to go into the tunnel?
You know what? I think she'll take the tunnel. She's looking. She wants to find.
Feeling lucky.
You know.
Yeah, you do hear Lucky Bastard on the table. Miss Mays, you want me to come with you? I still got one good foot, one good arm.
Snake eyes, my friend. You need plenty of time to recover from that. I got this one.
All right, Miss Megs. And he just kind of slouches back onto the table. Do you tell Otmar or Lockjaw where you're going, or are you just heading straight out the
tunnel? She might ask one of her people to head outside and let them know.
All right. So Megs, you head down the tunnel in pursuit of Elena. Now, she would probably have had a better part of like an hour at least, or two, ahead of you. So she could have easily cleared the exit and gone someplace in this time.
Yeah, she's going to try to track which exit she came out of to the best of her abilities.
Okay. Go ahead and make an observation check for me. I was going to say, that's okay. No panic. All right. I'm going to get back to you, Meg. So I'm going to go to Otmar and Lockjaw outside. You have just been told. You see Mercy kind of run out and say, Mr. Ettinger, she's Miss Meggs has gone after Elena. She's gone through the tunnels. Told me to tell you. And she sees what you're doing, what you're burning, and she just kind of puts her hand to her mouth. Oh my God, what the hell is that thing?
Otmar went through the tunnels once, right? And Lockjaw did too. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Where does it come out?
It's a network, isn't it, Megs?
Yeah, it's a network.
Multiple exits. Where did we come out the time we came out of it?
Outside of
Over by
town,
the edge.
close to on the way to the crash site.
Got it. He looks at Lockjaw. Well, I ain't smelled a stink like that since I've been in Jarvis' pen. We're supposed to come with her?
I don't know, Mr. Otmar. I was just told to tell you.
Looks at Lockjaw and says, let's finish loading this up.
All right.
We'll
So you
meet
take
her back at the outlet we came in at, outside of town.
Okay. So you take the Jeep, drive it back to Benji's place, start loading up the steel.
Load up the steel, Andrea, Benji's body, and with the plan of trying to lug it all back to the ship and then find Max.
With that success and extra success, there are a number of exits, as you mentioned, out of these tunnels. But you know this town, you know the council, you know the way people think. Now, Elena was going someplace. She wasn't just escaping the hollow. She was going someplace. Now, the most logical places that you can think of that she might go are to follow you to the crash site or someplace else in town. Now, if she were to go someplace else in town, this town is devastated. But the one place that she might go to that might have something of value, you can think of just like your back office has a vault. The council chambers has a vault.
Yeah, she's going to head in that direction.
So you head toward the council chambers and you find your way through the sewers, and it's not that far. It's only maybe a 10 minutes a trip in these tunnels and sewers, and you pop up through a grating just outside the council chambers. You notice that the door is wide open.
She's going to very carefully get next to the door, try to listen, and then not hearing anything. If she does hear something, she might not, but peek in as well.
All right. I'm going to reduce your panic to 0 because you've had some time to chill. Get rid of your panic. You still have your stress, though. You make an observation check for me, please, as you try and you do not hear anything inside.
So she's got her revolver drawn. She's going to, as quietly as possible, enter.
Can you make a mobility check for me, please? Things are getting tense. You look around. You see the door to the vault area open, but the place is otherwise empty.
She's going to head towards it. Slowly, quietly as possible.
You sneak your way through the large chamber to the back door towards the vault, and you listen. Again, no sound, and you kind of peek around. Inside the vault, as I described before, it's kind of a long, narrow room. At the far end is where the long data disk was. It's no longer there. The walls had these cupboards in them, just kind of lining the walls. You notice all the cupboard doors are opened.
Nobody in there, though.
No.
She might go try to inspect these cupboards, try to understand. Is there anything in them? Was there anything in them? Is there anything she can ascertain?
Go ahead and make an observation check for me, please. Yes. So you can tell that these cupboards were locked, and they were not forced open, they were unlocked. And most of them contain just like papers and files or whatnot, but there's one that catches your interest. It's the refrigeration unit. And you can see that in it were like trays to hold test tubes. Whatever was in here, they're all gone.
She will she'll take note of that and start heading out, still being quiet, looking for signs as to where Elena might have gone from here, if she can determine anything.
Can you make another observation check? Just as you turn to from inspecting this refrigerated unit and are about to leave the vault, you hear a voice behind you. Elena. Miss Meggs. Surprising to see a rat like you scurry out of its hole this far from home. That's where we'll end tonight.